In Aberdeen, Washington, a town known for its small-town charm and community spirit, Riley Carter presented himself as a protector of the vulnerable. As a city councilman and self-proclaimed predator hunter, his mission was simple: to expose local sex offenders and, as his slogan declared, to make pedophiles afraid again. Through his TikTok and Instagram accounts, Carter amassed thousands of followers by exposing convicted sex offenders in his community. He was seen as a hero by many, a man taking justice into his own hands. But behind the carefully crafted facade was a disturbing reality that no one could have imagined. Police were called after receiving an allegation of a sex offense against a juvenile. According to court filings, the victim was interviewed in front of their parent and stated that Carter had touched them sexually a lot of times, with occurrences occurring as frequently as several times per week over the previous 2 years. The victim also stated that Carter would unplug a camera in the victim's bedroom prior to the occurrences, including that morning on July 30th, as well as cameras in the room's entrance. An Aberdeen police officer detained Carter and took him into custody. Carter was examined by a detective from the sheriff's office that evening, and when questioned about the frequency of sexual contact events, Carter claimed that the victim's narrative of events was correct. Carter also stated that he utterly considered killing himself during the events, going so far as to tie a rope in the basement of his home before deciding not to, according to court filings. Carter declared his testimony to be accurate before being charged with first-degree rape of a minor, a crime you've never heard of. Aberdeen, Washington. A city councilman renowned for his strong stance against crime and dedication to eliminating dangerous offenders from the streets, has stunned the public with accusations of committing a deeply disturbing and unimaginable crime. The following footage has never been released before. Please be advised that this report is based on police records, and all individuals charged with a crime are presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. 39-year-old Riley Carter launched his campaign for city council in early 2023, vowing to take a tough approach to cleaning up the city of Aberdeen. By January 2024, he began serving as an elected official. However, on July 30th, 2024, a shocking accusation made by his stepdaughter prompted police to launch a search for his arrest, sending ripples of disbelief through the community. After police find him walking alone down a quiet residential street, disoriented and uneasy, he is escorted in handcuffs into a small, sterile interrogation room. Detective Harper, with her unyielding gaze, sits across from him, determined to uncover the truth behind the chilling allegations that have rocked his world. The silence between them is thick with tension as she lays out the evidence. In a shocking twist, it was his wife, Maya, who first confronted him about the unsettling revelation made by his stepdaughter. Her voice had been trembling with disbelief and fear when she confronted him, demanding an explanation.
Then he just took off. I guess he just left.
Did he say anything to you about it?
He just said that he didn't do it. He swears up and down he didn't do it.
The weight of her accusation, an act that seemed impossible to comprehend, had left him shaken. Given his position as a city councilman, the Aberdeen Police Department requested that the investigation be conducted by the Grays Harbor Sheriff's Office to prevent any potential conflict of interest. After Riley is read his Miranda rights, the interrogation begins, though he remains unaware of the source of the allegations. Riley describes having a typical morning, but everything took a dramatic turn when Maya came home. Maya left the house without saying a word, her face pale and unreadable, leaving Riley confused and uneasy. Desperate for an explanation, he called her cell phone, his voice tense with frustration and fear. When she finally answered, her tone was cold and sharp as she accused him of committing an unimaginable act involving Riley's stepdaughter. Before Riley could defend himself, she abruptly hung up, leaving him stunned. However, as Maya later recounted, Their conversation didn't end there. Over Facebook Messenger, the exchange continued, tense and fragmented. Maya confronted him about what her daughter had confided, while Riley repeatedly denied the allegations. Yet, his defensive and inconsistent responses unsettled her, planting seeds of doubt. Realizing she had no concrete evidence to confirm what her daughter had revealed, Maya decided to take a calculated risk. She softened her tone, pretending to give him the benefit of the doubt, coaxing him to open up. Meanwhile, she carefully documented their conversation, knowing the truth might only come to light if she played her cards right. For her, this wasn't just about confronting Riley. It was about protecting her daughter and finding justice, no matter how painful it might be. Riley described Maya's anger as intense, a storm of raw emotion that left him feeling both afraid and powerless. Her eyes burned with fury, and her words felt like a physical blow. She demanded answers, unable to understand how the man she trusted could be accused of such an unspeakable act against her own daughter. In that moment, Riley knew everything was at stake. Maya gave him an ultimatum: either admit the truth or lose everything, his family, his freedom, and her. The silence that followed was suffocating, the weight of her words pressing down on him, knowing his life was now hanging by a fragile thread. On June 24th, just a month before the events unfolded, Riley posted a video on his Facebook page with the intention of drawing attention to the growing criminal activity in his neighborhood. In the video, he highlighted various unsettling incidents and shared his concerns about the safety of the community. Little did he know, these videos would soon take on a chilling and eerie relevance. As the exact nature of the allegations emerged, Riley's footage would provide crucial context, casting a new light on the situation and raising questions about what he had unknowingly captured. What seemed like a simple attempt to inform his followers would become a haunting glimpse into the very events that would soon unfold, leaving many to wonder if Riley's warnings were a premonition of something far more sinister. Despite Riley's apparent resolve to do whatever it took to protect his children, his shocking secret was ultimately exposed by his 11-year-old stepdaughter, whose name has been redacted in the interview to preserve her identity. The revelation came as a complete surprise to many, as Riley had long portrayed himself as a devoted and caring father. His stepdaughter's courageous decision to speak out changed the course of the investigation and unraveled a hidden truth. The information she shared would leave everyone questioning Riley's true intentions and actions. As her testimony came to light, it added another layer of complexity to the situation. It also raised concerns about the vulnerability of those closest to Riley, particularly the children he claimed to protect. In a recorded interview with her therapist, Riley's stepdaughter recounts the events of earlier that morning with a quiet, shaky voice, her hands nervously twisting in her lap. As she speaks, the weight of what she's about to say hangs heavily in the air. She begins with the feeling that something was off, an unsettling tension that had been building between her and Riley for days, though she couldn't quite put her finger on why. In an attempt to assist the child, the counselor suggested writing down her thoughts as a way to process the trauma and gain clarity. The child hesitated at first, her hands shaking as she picked up the pen. As the words slowly began to form on the paper, the counselor watched with a mixture of concern and anticipation. However, as the child wrote, the counselor's expression shifted. The disturbing words that appeared on the page were far worse than she had anticipated, details that seemed to confirm her worst fears. The counselor's breath caught in her throat, and for a moment, she struggled to maintain her composure. What the child had written was chilling, a silent cry for help that left the counselor stunned and deeply shaken. With each new piece of information, the investigators grow more determined to uncover the truth behind the unsettling claims. Riley's videos depict a recurring theme of his commitment to safeguarding his children from local crime. However, The disturbing words of his stepdaughter suggest that the threats were much closer to home than anyone had realized. The chilling note, written by the 11-year-old girl, left her therapist in shock, and her mother, Maya, enraged. Maya, upon reading the note, felt a surge of anger and disbelief, struggling to comprehend the depth of her daughter's distress. This revelation marked a turning point, prompting immediate action to address the situation. The note served as a catalyst, bringing to light hidden truths that had been concealed. Riley initiated a crowdfunding campaign to establish a non-profit organization dedicated to identifying online predators and preventing their harmful actions against children. Riley's videos convey his unwavering commitment to ensuring his children's safety, portraying himself as a vocal advocate for devoted fathers. Despite Riley's vocal opposition to preying on children, the question remains, do these horrifying allegations hold any truth? Riley's videos highlight potential dangers on their residential street, captured by their home surveillance system. However, it's a different set of security cameras that may hold the key to uncovering the truth behind the unsettling allegations against him. Maya uncovered a concerning discrepancy upon reviewing the footage. As she watched the video closely, she noticed something she hadn't seen before, a subtle yet glaring inconsistency in Riley's behavior. A moment almost imperceptible at first caught her attention. Riley's expression shifted from calm to defensive in a split second, and his actions seemed to contradict what he had said earlier. With only the child's claims, detectives must work to obtain a confession from Riley. The officer urges him to admit to the horrifying act, stating their sole aim is to uncover the truth. Riley hesitates, grappling with his next steps. As the interrogation continues, the investigator presses Riley to confess, but obtaining a straightforward answer proves to be a challenging task. Riley squirms in his seat, offering vague responses and avoiding eye contact. Every attempt to corner him is met with deflection, and his discomfort grows more evident. Despite the investigator's persistence, Riley continues to evade, making it clear that getting a direct answer won't be easy. It seems as though Riley won't stop until the truth is out because he keeps sidestepping the topic and giving little or no clues. Although nothing can prepare the investigators for the dark and twisted explanation he will later provide, the distressing admission eventually reveals the truth. Although nothing can prepare the investigators for the dark and twisted explanation he will later provide, the distressing admission eventually reveals the truth. As the interrogation wears on, Riley's walls begin to crumble under the pressure. His voice shakes as he finally confesses, the weight of his words heavy in the room. What follows is a chilling and unexpected account. Before confronting Riley with the crucial question of why he would harm his own stepdaughter, the investigator poses a different question. His response further exposes how little Riley appears to understand the gravity of the situation. Riley's arrest is imminent due to his confession and his disturbing response to the question of why he would have committed such a heinous deed, but the investigator has one more devastating query. But an apology won't stop him from being dragged away in handcuffs and transported to Grays Harbor County Jail, where he will face harsh penalties. Maya reveals that the public's reaction to Riley's arrest has caused her to come under unanticipated scrutiny, with many people wondering why she has cameras in her kids' rooms in the first place. Riley Tyrell Carter, 39 years old, was officially charged with multiple charges of first-degree child molestation and first-degree rape of a child. A press release from the city of Aberdeen announced his resignation from his city council position. While in jail, Riley is swapped for DNA that will later be compared to the assault kit done on the 11-year-old girl. His bail was set at $150,000 on August 2, 2024. The case is still pending, but Maya was able to tell EWU that a trial is scheduled to start on March 11, 2025. Investigators uncovered that Carter used his position of power and trust to groom vulnerable minors online. He fooled us all. We thought he was fighting for our kids, but He was just using that as a cover for his own sick crimes. The Riley Carter case serves as a chilling reminder that evil can hide in plain sight. It underscores the need for vigilance and the courage to speak out, even when the truth is hard to face.